Cerberus, Counter-Strike. This past week, what's up?
All right, in CSGO, we saw IEM Katowice. I've been pronouncing this wrong all week. I've been pronouncing Katowice. It's Katowice, which is the first of two major tournaments this year and is structured with a play-in stage that was played on Tuesday the 15th and Wednesday the 16th. The top eight teams from the play-in stage secured seats in a group stage that would be played the following days. 16 teams played in the main event, which was the next step up, with those being split into two groups of 8 teams apiece in pool play. Teams were playing for their share of a $972,000 prize pool, where first place was going to win $400,000, second place $180,000, and third and fourth both walking away with $80,000 each. To start on Tuesday the 15th and Wednesday the 16th, the double play-in elimination tournament happened. We saw a plethora of games with one of the biggest prizes of the year on the line. When all was said and done, OG, Astralis, FaZe, and Copenhagen Flames were able to secure the first spots in the main stage. The Danish squad, Copenhagen Flames, continued their tremendous growth that started in late 2021 to secure the first seat. They were quickly followed by the other 3 teams that were previously mentioned. Later on Wednesday, they were joined by the last 4 teams to secure their spots with Moose, NIP, Ninjas in Pajamas, by far my favorite name in esports, Fnatic, and ENCE. The bottom 8 teams did not go home empty-handed, though, despite not moving on to the main stage, with 9th through 12th all receiving $4,500 in winnings, and 13th through 16th earning $2,500 per team. We will have to see what the bottom 8 teams will be able to do, if they'll be able to do any better later this year at IEM Cologne.
At least everyone wins something, you know?
The tournament continued after a play-in stage with 16 teams being separated into 2 pools of 8. Group A started off on Thursday, the 17th, with the first match of the day being a decisive one from Virtus Pro, winning 2-0 over Copenhagen Flames. It continued with Heroic winning over OG, Ninjas in Pajamas over Gambit, and Team Vitality winning over Moose. Copenhagen Flames, Gambit, Moose, and OG all fell down to the lower side of their bracket to fight their way back into the tournament from the lower side of Group A.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Gambit lose, as Gambit is considered one of the top teams in the league.
Most definitely. And in Group B, they started their games also on the 17th, with Furia winning over Astralis and FaZe taking it over Team Liquid 2-1. The group proceeded with their opening games on Friday the 8th, with G2 losing out to Fnatic, which was a shocker, and Na'Vi taking a win over ENCE. These games saw ENCE, Astralis, G2, and Team Liquid all drop down to the lower bracket to only have one shot remaining to keep their hopes alive for the tournament.
You only got one shot. Don't miss your chance to blow.
After that first round of matches, the focus turned on to the elimination games in the lower bracket of Group A. Moose took down OG in a 2-0 series, and Gambit took down Copenhagen Flames 2-1. Moving down to Group B elimination games, Astralis took down ENCE in a 2-1 series, and Team Liquid fell short versus G2, losing out 0-2. That made the first 4 teams eliminated from the tournament: OG, Copenhagen Flames, ENCE, and Team Liquid.
Again, with the money, makes everything a little better. Even the bottom 4 teams were still able to walk away with $10K each.
Money makes it a little bit easier. So moving on to the upper bracket semifinals in Group A, Heroic took on Team Vitality and then came out on top 2-0. This was an incredible match by Heroic, considering the strength of Team Vitality based on what they've shown up to this point this year. Also in Group A, Virtus Pro took on Ninjas in Pajamas, where NIP lost out on the series 1-2.
Yep.
In Group B upper bracket, Navi took on Furia, where Navi took a commanding 2-0 win. Also in this group, FaZe took a 2-1 victory over Fnatic. In the lower bracket semifinals in Group A, NIP took a victory over Moose 2-0, knocking Moose out of the tournament. Also in this group, we saw a clash of titans with Gambit taking on Team Vitality. However, Gambit proved to be the bigger of the two titans, taking the series 2-0. In Group B, Astralis took down Fnatic 2-1 to knock Fnatic out of the tournament. Also, G2 took on Furia, where they were able to do the same thing by taking the series 2-1, sending Furia packing.
9-12 were able to take home $16,000.
A nice little payday. In the final sets of matches to round out the group brackets, we saw 4 final games to set up placements for the single elimination bracket for finals. In Group A, we saw the upper bracket final of Heroic taking on Virtus Pro. Heroic were able to continue their run, taking down Virtus 2-0 and giving themselves a first round bye in the single elimination bracket. The lower bracket, NIP took on Gambit to see who would go home and who would advance to the final bracket. Gambit proved just too powerful, taking the series 2-0, sending Ninjas in Pajamas home.
Is sending them home with $24,000 in prize money.
I'm not gonna lie, I just picture a ninja all dressed up in his like Christmas pajamas with just a sack of money over his shoulder, like sneaking away.
That's a great picture.
In the Group B upper bracket, Navi took on FaZe Clan, where Ropes of FaZe was able to join the team once again after testing negative for COVID. However, despite having a crucial piece of their team back, FaZe fell to Navi 2-1. In the lower bracket final, it was a battle to stay alive in the tournament between G2 and Astralis. G2, though, proved just too strong, knocking Astralis out of the tournament 2-1.
All about that money. Astralis left with $24,000 in winnings.
After all the battling was finished for all that money, 6 teams moved on to the final single elimination bracket for IEM Katowice. Gambit, FaZe, Virtus Pro, and G2 all moved on to face off in the first round of the single elimination bracket. Meanwhile, Navi and Heroic also moved on, but by coming through the upper bracket without dropping any games, won them the first round bye and will face off against the winners of the bottom 4 teams. Moving on from CSGO to another popular game, Rainbow Six had its Rainbow Six Invitational, which was held over the past two weeks, where the quest was to become the top team in Rainbow Six Siege this year. It was a group format for seeding into a bracket where we saw teams want to start in the upper bracket so that they had that cushion of being able to drop a game and still have a chance at the main prize. To begin, we saw 8 teams start in the upper bracket with 4 starting in lower. After days of matches, it all came down to the final 4 teams of TSM, Team Empire, FaZe Clan, and MIBR. We started off with MIBR taking on FaZe Clan in the lower bracket semifinals. It was a very close match with all 3 maps needing to be played. FaZe Clan were able to take it though, winning the series 2-1. They were close games with the attack side being the most dominant side of the series. Souls1 was the top performer in the series with a rating of 1.30, going 27-19.
Yeah, pretty dominant, as the closest KD was on the opposite team, MIBR, with only a 1.18.
True. And while FaZe waited in the lower bracket final to see who they would have to play to proceed, TSM took on Team Empire in the upper bracket finals. This was a close series as well, with slaying balanced across both teams, with everyone trying their best to bring glory for the squad. However, Team Empire were able to pull out the series, winning 2-1. Achieved of TSM was the highest Slayer in the lobby, just narrowly though, with 26 kills and 17 deaths and a rating of 1.13. However, it was just not enough for TSM to take the win over Team Empire.
Yeah, I will say, even though Merc of TSM was negative with a 0.93, he had the highest headshot percentage of 77%, which is extremely impressive.
As true, his gunny was on point and was very accurate. And then with TSM losing that match to Team Empire, TSM dropped down to take on FaZe Clan. Fueled by that loss, TSM came out swinging for the fences and quickly 2-0'd FaZe Clan. There were no signs of life from FaZe in this match, with the highest amount of kills coming out of Souls1 and Cyber, both with 11. But the deaths showed to outweigh those kills, making everyone on FaZe go into the negative for KD. TSM, on the other hand, showed that they were the stronger of the two teams, with everyone on their squad able to go positive, with at least 4 out of the 5 going positive with a +5 in KD at the very minimum. Off this win, TSM proceeded on to get their rematch versus Team Empire in the grand finals.
With everyone on FaZe going negative, with the lowest a 0.47 from Bullet 1 and TSM almost all positive, it was pretty dominant.
Oh, yeah. And TSM proved they were coming to play because they got back to that final match of the tournament that saw them get the rematch versus Team Empire for who would be world champs out of a best of 5 series. Fresh off their victory versus FaZe, TSM came out hot and seemed to take control. After a grueling map 1 that saw TSM take the map 8-6 on Clubhouse. After that, though, TSM took it up another notch where they controlled map 2, taking it 7-3. In map 3, it was another grueler where Team Empire were able to pick up their first map 8-6. However, TSM proved that they were on fire and took the final map on map 4 on Villa. With the win on map 4, TSM won the tournament and were crowned the best in Rainbow Six Siege. Achieved in Merc turned up for TSM, going 52-31 for Achieved and 53-38 for Merc. They carried the squad to the victory and world championship.
Yeah, this seemed to be pretty evenly matched, with Achieved and Merc of TSM standing out, as you said, with a 1.25 and 1.22 KD, making the difference to assist in the win. Congrats, TSM.
Yeah, whoa, TSM, TSM.
I'm sure that sounds absolutely horrific. I'm so sorry for that. And now, after that awkward encounter of us just rawing into the mic, Cerberus, what happened with Rocket League?
RLCS saw some action this weekend with the third regional event where teams played for placement points, where they were going to use those points to qualify for the World Championship. After a long tournament with 4 teams, the top 4 teams were Version 1, NRG, G2, and FaZe Clan. Version 1 claimed the top spot, beating out NRG in a stellar match where they took the series 4-1. Each match was heavily weighted towards Version 1, who won each of their 4 games by multiple goals, except for one game where they outscored them by 1 goal. All said and told, NRG, FaZe Clan, and G2 improved their placements for champs, where they are all squarely in the top 3. Your placements for Worlds after that event are: at first, you have NRG, 2, FaZe Clan, 3, G2 Esports, 4, Space Station Gaming, 5, Complexity Gaming, 6, Version 1, 7, Team Envy, 8, Oxygen, 9, Xset, and 10, Rogue.
Wow, just the points difference from first to last place is a whopping 1,942 points. which is incredible. And that is it for Rocket League this week.